Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. What's this part of my finger? What's this part of my ear called? Let's talk about it. Do you know this song?
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
A classic children's song. Today you are going to learn more than just the basics, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You are going to master 100 body part vocabulary words, plus some useful idioms along the way. To help you never forget what you learn, I have created a free PDF worksheet for you with all of today's body parts, idioms, expressions, concepts, and ideas that we're talking about in this lesson. Plus, you can answer Vanessa's challenge question at the bottom of the worksheet. Click on the link in the description to download the free PDF worksheet today. Just a little note before we get started. This video, like almost every video on my channel, is PG rated. This means that we are going to be talking about acceptable body part words to talk about in public. If you're looking for a biology lesson, this lesson is not for you. But if you would like an appropriate word that you can use without embarrassment in lots of situations, this lesson is the right place for you. Not sure how to talk about something taboo politely? Well, let's learn. Let's get started by talking about the top of our head and working down to our feet. Let's start with the head. There's a lot of words to talk about. This is my head. We have a great idiom that goes along with this, which is off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you how far the Earth is from the moon. Off the top of my head. This means without doing research, just having the knowledge in my head. Off the top of my head, sorry, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I have no clue. What's on my head? It's hair. So we could say I have brown hair or I am a brunette. This is most often used for women. You could say it for men, but brunette is most often used for women. Or we could say he has blonde hair. She or he is a blonde. Or he has red hair. He's a redhead. Or we sometimes say he's a ginger. Sometimes people who have red hair don't like this expression. My husband is a ginger and he doesn't care. This expression is fine with him. So maybe just listen out for it. Or you could just say, he's a redhead. He has red hair. Or you might have black hair. Under your hair, we have your scalp. Your scalp is the skin under your hair. And then moving down, we have your forehead. Forehead. Then we have your eyebrows, your eyelids, and your eyelashes. I want to take a quick note for my Asian followers. In the Asian world, it is somewhat common to talk about some different terms for your eyelids. When I lived in South Korea, I heard my Korean coworkers, when they were speaking in English, I heard them use the terms monolid and double eyelid in their English conversations, but I just want to let you know that this concept is relatively unknown to most of the English-speaking world. This is something that's much more common in the Asian part of the world. So if you were to have a conversation with someone in English and you said, yeah, he has a monolid or a double eyelid, most other people in the Western world are not familiar with this concept. So we just call this the eyelid. These are my eyelids. My eyelids and my eyelashes protect my eyes. My eyes. There's a great idiom we sometimes use, don't roll your eyes at me. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that to your parents? If you have rolled your eyes at your parents, they most likely said to you, don't roll your eyes at me. This is a common phrase that parents say to their children, don't roll your eyes at me. That's rolling your eyes. Under my eyes, I have my cheeks. My cheeks. Babies have cute cheeks that we love to pinch. Cheeks. And moving over here are my ears, my ears. So these are my ears, but this is my earlobe. Some people have a pierced earlobe, so I do. These are pierced ears, and my earlobe is pierced. There's another idiom we use, which is I'm all ears. If you have a suggestion for a YouTube video that you'd like me to make, I'm all ears. This means I'm willing to listen. I'm interested in what you have to say. I'm all ears. I have no mouth, no nose, no eyes. I'm all ears. I'm going to listen very carefully. And then we have my nose. This is called the bridge of your nose. And these are my nostrils, my nostrils. Under my nose is my mouth. This is the general word for this area, but there's a lot of specific words to talk about these parts. So let's talk about it. My mouth, my lips are on the outside, my lips. And when I open my mouth, there are my gums. The skin on the inside of my mouth is my gums. And then there's my teeth and my tongue. There are some fun idioms we can talk about with the mouth. Let's say that you tell your friend that you're gonna have a surprise birthday party for your sister. Your friend might say, oh, don't worry, I won't tell her. My lips are sealed. That means you can't open your mouth. My lips are sealed. The secret is safe with me. It's a great expression to let the other person know, don't worry, I'm not telling anyone. My lips are sealed. What do you do with your mouth? You eat. So if you love sweet things, maybe you have a sweet tooth. This doesn't mean just one of your teeth is sweet, but this just means I love sweet foods. I have a sweet tooth, so I have to keep sweets out of my house or else I'll just eat them all the time. I have a sweet tooth. And before we move on to the rest of the upper body, let's talk about one more idiom about your tongue. This expression is extremely useful for English learners. What if I said to you, what's the name of that movie with the pirate? It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, do you get the idea that I know the movie, I just can't think about it right now? So the name of the movie with a pirate is right there. It's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't get it out. I just can't remember what's the name of that movie with the pirate. It's on the tip of my tongue. So if there is a word that you don't remember in English, you might say, yeah, the skin in your mouth. Vanessa talked about that. It's on the tip of my tongue. I forget what that word is. Well, first of all, you remembered this idiom. That's great. And just to let you know, it's your gums. Your gums. But this is a great expression to use when you know a word, you just can't remember it. Under your mouth, we have your chin. Your chin. If I told you, keep your chin up, things will get better. Keep your chin up. This is an encouraging statement that you can use to say, you can do it. Keep going. I know that it's tough right now, but find some positivity in this tough time. Keep your chin up. You can do it. Great encouragement. Under your chin, we have your neck. Your neck. And another wonderful idiom. What if I said for you, I stuck my neck out for her because I felt like she did the right thing and she needed some support. I stuck my neck out for her. You're not literally sticking your neck out for her, but this has to do with the idea that you are supporting someone even though you might face some criticism. So your head is very important to your body, right? This is a really valuable part of your body. So when you stick your neck out, you are putting your head in a vulnerable position. You're sticking your neck out. You're not keeping it close to you. So that's the idea of this idiom. When you support someone, even though you might face some criticism, you could say, I stuck my neck out for her. Sometimes we use this if we regret it later. Man, I stuck my neck out for her and she just didn't appreciate it at all. I stuck my neck out for her. I tried to support her even though it wasn't the popular thing to do. And now I regret it. She didn't care at all and it wasn't really helpful. And finally, for your head, we can say your face. All of this right here is your face. Have you ever had a pretty rotten morning? Things just didn't go well, but when you walked into the office, you couldn't be grumpy. You couldn't be In a bad mood, you had to put on a face. This implies that things are going poorly, but you have to pretend like everything's fine. Sometimes we say, I had to put on a happy face when I walked into the office. Or we could cut out the word happy completely and just say, I had to put on a face in front of the clients, even though I had just gotten yelled at by my boss. I wanted to cry, but I just had to put on a face when I talked with the clients. This is kind of a tough thing to do, but we all have to do it in lots of situations in life. Maybe you have to put on a face. All right, let's go to the next section, which is not your head, which is your upper body. Now let's talk about the upper body, the upper body. These are my shoulders, my shoulders. If I'm angry at someone, I might give them the cold shoulder. Ooh, the cold shoulder is never good. That means that you ignore someone, you don't talk with them, and you show them that you are angry by giving them the cold shoulder. You might not actually turn your body like this, but that's the expression we use. He gave me the cold shoulder after I told him what was going on. Below your shoulders is your chest, and this is the socially acceptable word for men and for women to talk about this area. We often use the term, I just have to get something off my chest. If there is a weight on your chest, it's a burden. It is not a good situation, but when you get something off your chest, you tell someone something important. Maybe you've been keeping in a secret and you finally can tell someone that you love that secret. I just have to get something off my chest. I love you. I've been wanting to tell you this for so long. I love you. Oh, it feels good to say it. I'm free now. So that's the idea of getting something off your chest. Under your shoulders, we have your armpits, and they are connected to your arms, If you have to twist someone's arm to get them to do something, you had to work really hard to convince them. I had to twist my husband's arm to get a cat, but he finally said yes, and now he loves that cat. It's actually not true. He wanted to get a cat. He had to twist my arm to get a cat. It means, I had to convince him to get a cat, and now we have one. Wonderful. On your arm, there is your elbow, Sometimes we say, I need some elbow room. If you're cooking and all your kids are in the kitchen and everyone's moving around, you might say, hey guys, I need some elbow room. I'm trying to cook here. Can you guys just give me some space? That means I need some room, some elbow room. Attached to your arm, your elbow is your wrist. This is the joint here, your wrist. When I was in high school, I broke my wrist. It was literally and figuratively a pain. And then I have my hands. When you give someone a hand, you help them. Hey, can you give me a hand? This box is really heavy. I need some help picking it up. Hey, can you give me a hand and read over this report? I want to make sure I said it right. Give me a hand. And on my hand, I have my palm. That's the bottom of your hand. And I have 5 fingers. Each of my fingers has a knuckle. My thumb has 1 knuckle. Notice the K is silent, but my other fingers have 2 knuckles. You might see in a movie, we don't really use this in daily conversation, hopefully not too much, but you might see in a movie someone say, do you want me to give you a knuckle sandwich? And that means, do you want me to punch you? Because your knuckles are like this and it's a knuckle sandwich. Hopefully you don't use that a lot in daily life, but you might hear it in a movie and now you'll understand it. Each of my fingers has a fingerprint and a fingernail. We have different names for each of our fingers. Do you know what they are? This is my pinky finger. Sometimes we say my little finger, but almost always do we say my pinky finger, my ring finger, and that's because we often put our wedding bands on this finger, my ring finger, my middle finger. In the West, maybe in other places as well, it's very rude to show only your middle finger. That means F you, I'm so angry at you. Here's my middle finger. So be careful not to do that. Do not point with your middle finger. Instead, point with your pointer. That's what this finger is called. Point with your pointer. And then we have your thumb, your thumb. All right, so we've talked about the hand, the arm, your chest. Sometimes we talk about this as your chest area, especially if we're being a little bit vague with women. You might say, oh, there's something on your chest area. Maybe there's like a stain on your shirt, but you don't want to point. You don't want to be rude. You might just say, oh, there's something on your chest area. It's not talking about your skin. It's just in this general area. So that's a very polite way to talk about this. And we sometimes use the term collarbone for this bone here, my collarbone. Oh yeah, I just slammed into a drawer and I hit my collarbone. It really hurts. This is my collarbone. Sometimes schools will have a dress code that says you need to cover your collarbone. So that's what they're talking about. And in your chest area, we have your ribs. Your ribs, that's the bones here. And sometimes we use the more technical term, your rib cage. Your rib cage. I bruised a rib. Oh, that hurts my ribs. Oh, it hurts my ribs to laugh so much. This is your ribs. Below your ribs, you have your belly button. If you are human, you have a belly button. This is what connected you with your mother when you were in the womb. You have a belly button, and this area is usually called your stomach, but sometimes we call it your belly. This is especially for children. Oh, your belly hurts. Oh, this is my belly. But we often use an idiom that uses another word, and that is your gut. Technically, your gut is inside you. That's like your intestines and your organs inside you. We're not going to get to that. That's too detailed right now. But we sometimes use the phrase, trust your gut. This doesn't mean that you are using your rational brain. You're just trusting your instincts. So if you thought, should I join Vanessa's course or not? Well, this is how much money it is. This is what I saw on the website. This is it. Now, I'm just gonna trust my gut. I know Vanessa is a nice teacher and I think it will be useful. I'm gonna join the course. Great. Well, you can join the Fearless Fluency Club here. Trust your gut. That means I'm just going to trust my instincts and do it. All right, let's move on from the head, the upper body, and talk about the lower body. All right, now let's talk about the lower body. These are my hips, my hips. And if you want to talk about this area in a polite daily conversation type way, we often just say private parts. This is something that's common for children to say, and I think this is something that's common for adults to say as well. Of course, we don't usually talk about this area in the workplace just in general, but if you are going to use a polite term, we would say private parts. We sometimes use the word crotch, but this is mainly for men, and it's mainly used to say, hey, don't hit me in the crotch. Of course, talking about this area is not professional. So in the workplace, of course, none of these words apply, but in daily conversation, those are words you'll definitely hear, and they're not considered rude. You'll also hear the term groin used, and this specifically has to do with the muscles on the inside of your legs, like in this picture. And it's most commonly used to talk about when you hurt your groin. So you might say, I pulled my groin when I was doing yoga yesterday. So it's used to talk about maybe some kind of pain. If you go to the doctor, you can use that term to talk about the muscles on the inside of your leg. I know that's a little technical, but you will use this and hear this in daily conversation. I pulled my groin and now it hurts to walk. Next, let's talk about your legs. This is my leg and my knee. My leg and my knee. And here is my butt. This is the most general term that we use, but sometimes we use backside to be a little more polite. For my kids, we use the word bum. Wipe your bum. Don't put your bum on the table. We use those terms to be a little more indirect, but the most general term you're gonna hear is butt. We often also use thigh to talk about the upper part of your leg. My thigh. I bumped my thigh on the table and it really hurts. Your thigh. Then below your knee, Notice that the K is silent. Below your knee is your shin. Your shin. This is also a little bit of a technical term, but we often use shin when we're going to the doctor and saying, yeah, I just really have some shooting pains in my shin and I don't know what it is. This bone in the front is your shin. Behind your shin is your calf. Your calf. Now, strangely enough, this is also the word for a baby cow. A baby cow is a calf. Notice the L is silent, but this muscle here, back here, is your calf. My calves are really sore after going on that hike. Ugh, my calves are so sore. Then we have your foot. Your foot. Just like the hand, the foot has a lot of parts as well. We can talk about your ankle. Your ankle is the bone here. Don't twist your ankle. That hurts a lot. For your toes, we don't have a name for every individual toe. Maybe doctors do. I imagine doctors do. But in daily life, we just say your big toe and your little toe. The other toes are important, but we don't have a specific name for them. So it's your big toe and your little toe. Then we have underneath your foot is called the foot arch. And sometimes we say the arch of my foot. The arch of my foot hurts after walking for 10 hours yesterday. My foot arch hurts, or the arch of my foot. And the back of your foot here is called the heel. The heel. Notice the spelling is different than to heal, the verb. So this is with 2 E's. Heel. I hurt my heel and I hope it heals soon. That's your heel. What would it mean if I said, I have a new job starting tomorrow and I'm going to put my best foot forward and be prepared for my job? To put your best foot forward doesn't really mean that one of your feet is better than the other. It just means I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that there is success. I'm gonna put my best foot forward. I'm gonna wear professional clothes. I'm gonna be in the right mindset. I'm gonna get a good night's sleep the night before. I'm gonna put my best foot forward. Excellent expression. Whew, that was a lot of body vocabulary words and idioms, but keep your chin up. I know that you can do it. Put your best foot forward and download the free PDF worksheet so that you never forget the expressions that you learned in today's lesson, and you can answer Vanessa's challenge question at the end of the PDF worksheet. There is a link in the description so that you can download it. And now I have a question for you. Which one of these body part words was new for you? I would love to know which one of these helped you to expand your vocabulary so that you can speak confidently in daily life. Well, thank you so much for learning English with me, and I'll see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye!
The next step is to download the free PDF worksheet for this lesson. With this free PDF, you will master today's lesson and never forget what you have learned. You can be a confident English speaker. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a free English lesson every Friday. Bye!